Hey everyone, Will here. I figured I'd do a video. Haven't done a video in a while. I want to get back into vlogging. Vlogging something that I wanted to do in my past life before I was medicated, which I'll talk to you guys about that later on in the next vlog or wherever. But here's what I want to talk to you guys about today. All right. So on Facebook, on your phone Facebook or your tablet Facebook, there is a heart above where your notifications are. And I've been doing and basically what that is, it's a dating thing where it's called, I would call it Facebook dating. So I've been on there for a couple months looking for somebody. I've been looking for guys who are about my age, straight acting, outdoorsy type of guy, kind of redneckish kind of guy. Um, and I can't really find anyone. But so far, I've had like three people who have actually texted me and try to have a conversation with them and stuff. But the thing of it is that I don't really care for is that I'm not interested in a long distance relationship. I can't do it. I'm not interested in a long distance relationship. I know I was in one several years ago, but I need someone that's going to be close, who was willing to be a part of my life and a part of my family's life, and someone who's caring and kind and passionate and romantic as well. But I just want to come on here because these three individuals, they live out of state. One lives in New Hampshire, the other one lives in Connecticut, the other one lives in Massachusetts. I had one guy, one from New Hampshire. He's like, "Are you going to come down this weekend and see me?" I'm like, "No, I'm not going to come down and drive 4 hours out of my way just to come see you. It's a wasted trip to me. I'm not going to make the effort." And that's the other thing I would just want to talk to you guys a little bit about. I'm not putting all the effort into being in a relationship. I'm not doing all the work. I'm not doing it. If you want to be in a relationship, you got to show me that you want to be in the relationship and work on that on yourself. Okay? So, speaking about working on the relationship and communication, so one of the things that a lot of the guys I've been talking with, especially one guy who lives in Connecticut, we're not really communicating very well. I'll send a text message to him and he'll write something back. And it's kind of like we're playing tag a little bit. I don't normally say anything because I just let him try to say something. I'll respond to that, or I go in and say something. You know, the thing of it is to kind of make a long story short here with this guy, he wants me to communicate and chat with him and talk to him, but it takes him 30 minutes to reply back to my text messages. So why should I resend a text message that I sent to him 30 minutes ago when he could have replied within a minute? And he's blaming me that I'm not communicating, that I'm not saying anything. You have to show the effort of knowing and showing that you want to be in a relationship with somebody and be willing to work on it. Now, again, I don't want a long distance relationship. I just don't want it. The other thing too, about this is I also got another guy that I'm talking with on the Facebook dating thing, and it seems like he just, whenever he's free and willing, or whenever he has time, he'll text me on Facebook and say hi or whatever, or want to meet up. This is a guy in Massachusetts. This is a guy in Massachusetts. He wants to meet up for coffee. I'm like thinking to myself, where in the heck are we going to meet up and have coffee? You live all the way in Massachusetts. I live all the way up in Maine. How is this going to work? I don't know. But I'll send a text message and he'll respond when he has time. Or he'll respond the next day. Or the day after that. Because like, I texted him 2 days ago. I texted him a good morning text. I said good morning, and he never replied. It took him a day and a half to reply to my message. So why should I be the person to send a message to somebody who is interested in me but doesn't take the time and willingness to send a text message back? You send the text message back when you're free and able to do so. I don't get it. It's dumb. Then the guy in Connecticut, he wants to communicate, and I think I said this before already about him, and I do apologize if I repeat myself. But this guy in Connecticut, he wants to be a boyfriend. He wants a relationship. He wants me to communicate with him, but I can't communicate with a person that communicates 30 minutes after I send a text message. You know, and he's like, well, how come you didn't text me? Oh, I texted you 30 minutes ago. You just didn't respond. But I don't know. So I really don't want a long distance relationship. I don't want it. Okay? Don't want it. But these guys are just so, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're wasting my time and effort. And if I don't talk or don't communicate, it's not because you did something wrong. It's because I sent a text message to you and I'm waiting for a reply back. And then, like this guy in Connecticut, I sent him a text message. And I said, hey, are you okay? You know, you haven't texted in a while. You're awfully quiet. And he goes, yeah, I'm fine. Why do you ask? And I just say, because I'm just checking. Because you did the same thing to me. I didn't text you in a while, and you're checking on me and seeing if I'm okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. People have got to understand too on this side of the point of what I want to talk about is that if I don't feel like I want to say anything, I'm not going to say anything. I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert, and I'm proud of it. Communication and talking to people isn't really my strong skill. If I'm interested in you and willing to talk to you and get to know you, then you get your foot in the door. But just because I'm not responding to you doesn't mean I've lost interest. It's just because I sent you a text message and you never wrote me back. I'm not waiting 30 minutes for you to write me back. I'm not waiting a day or two for you to write me back when I send you a good morning text. These guys are wasting my time. I mean, come on. It's really not that hard. If you want a relationship with a person, make the relationship work. But again, to these three individuals, I'm not interested in a long-distance relationship. I just really am not. I'm not. So, what I am interested in is somebody who is going to be there for me, someone who wants to be in a relationship with me, someone that's willing to be a part of my life, someone that's willing to be part of my journey. Because this year, not this year, but the end of this year into 2025, I'm actually changing the way I live. And I'm basically what that is I'm accepting myself as who I am. I've been suppressing this for quite a long time, since I was probably in my early 20s, mid-teens, something like that. And I posted on Facebook and I said, you know, I'm done hiding in the closet. I'm coming out. I've wasted all my life and time hiding in the closet that I haven't really found myself where I belong. And I tried fitting in a mold that doesn't fit. But in 2025, I've decided that I'm going to change. Change is coming. And I want to be able to love myself, to forgive myself, to be positive about myself, to basically love myself and be thankful. You know what I mean? So 2025 is going to be very different for me personally. And I hope that you guys will come with me on this journey. Okay. I did write on Facebook. I wrote something similar to like, you know, I was going to wait until New Year's Eve to write this. And the reason why I was going to wait till New Year's Eve to write was because when I posted this post about coming out and done hiding, I mean, I wrote a thing on Facebook about persona and coming out. I don't think anybody read that, to be honest with you, because the next couple of days, a day or two later, I'm at my aunt and uncle's house for Christmas, and no one said a thing about my posts about being gay. No one said anything to me about being gay. They just kind of kept to themselves and went with it. And I was kind of surprised that no one said anything. So the reason why I've decided to come out is because my dad knows I'm gay. So there's no need for me to be hiding anymore from him. He knows, I know. It was just a matter of time for me to ask him and tell him, hey, Dad, I'm gay. But he knew already. So, but anyway, so like I said, I mean, I want to be in a relationship. I'm getting in this video for about 10 minutes. I got to go to bed. And I want to be in a relationship, yes. But I want to be I want the relationship to be the right one. I really do. I want to be able to find somebody who I was friends with for a couple of years. Met a guy at a workplace. I'm writing this whole scenario out on the computer here. I want to meet some guy like that before when I saw him at work. The writing piece is, I'm not sure what the writing piece is going to be about or the title of it, but I know when I write this out and post this on Facebook, that person's going to see that post and know it's going to be him. Let's just say I got interested in dating a guy who was about my age or younger. He was that guy. You know how you feel like when you see somebody for the first time, it's like, I got to know this person. He's interesting. He's attractive. I need to get to know him. What's his name? Where does he live? Does he have family? Does he have kids? Stuff like that. I wanted his undivided attention, and I wanted him to like me back. I made the effort to want to have a relationship with him, but he didn't want to have a relationship with me, like an intimate relationship. A friendship relationship's fine, but for an intimate relationship, that didn't happen. Even though we hung out a lot, and even though we went on train rides, and I got to tell you something. I know that's kind of going down a rabbit hole here, but we used to go on train rides. And my landlady, who I was living with at the time, found out that I was bringing him and his son to go on a train ride. She's like, you should really bring a girl on this trip, not a guy. And I'm like, well, it is what it is. It was kind of like a tradition that we did every summer, is go on a train ride. But by the time, when he moved away and when I was living where I was living, it wasn't going to work out. But all right, so it's been 12 minutes doing this video. I'm going to post this up right now. But again, I just want to say that I am interested in a relationship, but I'm not interested in a long-distance relationship at this time. If I don't communicate with you like that, it's not because I don't like you or I hate you or dislike you. It's just because I don't feel like I have nothing to say. And if I'm really interested in you, I will text you and see if you're okay. But if I send you that text message and you don't respond to 30 to 40 minutes, I'm going to say, okay, well, he's whatever. I want somebody that's going to go like that. When their phone goes off, I would like for that person to respond in a way of saying, oh, he's texting me, I got to text him back. I guess I'm impatient too. And here's where this stems from. I know I'm kind of going on a rant here, but I got talking to this guy. I met this guy several years ago when I was working for Skills. We met on a dating app site on our phones called Grindr. And if you don't know what Grindr is, it's a dating app site for gay men. But to go on there, it's just completely pure trash. You got older gentlemen who want to have a thing with somebody who's younger or older. You meet the weirdest kind of people on this app. But anyways, so I met this guy on Grindr, and he said that he felt like there was a connection. I'm like, okay, cool. So I met him, and we started texting each other. We started talking. We started seeing each other. He felt like there was a connection between us. But here's the thing. I didn't really allow him to come and be a part of my life. I didn't want that type of relationship quite yet. I ignored him. I blocked him. I told him I wasn't really interested. And here's the reason where that stems from. I want a same-sex relationship with somebody that's going to be there for me and want to be there for me. And this guy was there for me. But for me personally, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't ready. And I just, whatever. So I blocked him. I ignored him. I sent him angry texts. But he found a way to communicate with me through an email on Facebook. So he texted me on the email address that I got on there. He finds ways to communicate. And it wasn't that he was stalking me. He wasn't stalking me. He was just trying to say, hey, I really care for you and I think there's a connection. Let's hang out and get to know one another. I'm like, okay, yeah, we can do that. But I wasn't interested at that time. So this happened. This went on for a couple of years, and until now, recently, like this past year in June, this is when it really started. And I don't know why it started it out like that did, but it did. But the in June, yeah, it's my birthday. But June is Gay Pride Month, and I wanted to do something with him in kind of celebrating gay pride. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of you guys don't celebrate that kind of stuff, and you guys don't understand why there's parades and stuff like that for gay pride. I really don't know. But anyways, on a side note about that, I am going to be in Bangor in June. That depends what's going to happen between now and then. But I know I'm going down a rabbit hole here right now, but the rabbit hole says I really wanted to go to the Gay Pride Festival that weekend, but I also wanted to go to the Whoopie Pie Festival that was happening in Dover. So I couldn't really be at two places at once, but you know what? I couldn't do both. So at the time, I was working my second job at Walmart, and I decided that I would work instead of going and taking photographs of Gay Pride and going to the Whoopie Pie Festival. I couldn't make up my mind. So here I am, Gay Pride, coming back from the rabbit hole. I asked this guy that I'm texting, hey, you want to come over to celebrate Gay Pride? And he goes, yeah, sure, why not? Well, that whole month went by. He never texted me. He never showed any interest in wanting to come over. He said, possibly I'll come over. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, come over when you're over. Well, that whole month of June went by, and not once he decided to come to see me or text me. And I got to a point where I would be texting him and stuff. And I invited him to go to the air show with us. It was me, a good friend of mine from Walmart, my daughter. And I asked him, hey, you want to come to the air show with me? I'll buy the extra ticket for you to come. He never responded. And I said, okay, I guess that will be a no. And from that point on, from the time of the air show to in November, we weren't talking. So here it is, November 2024. Thanksgiving's coming up. And I thought to myself, let's celebrate Thanksgiving together as a couple. He goes, okay, that sounds good. And we started chatting for a little bit. We started regaining traction of our relationship through text messaging. And I said, why don't you come over on the day after Thanksgiving, and I'll cook a dinner for us, turkey, and the fixings, and go from there. Well, Thanksgiving showed up. I had Thanksgiving at my dad's house, and then the next day I decided that I was going to cook the turkey that I had thought out already. So I was cooking that. I'm texting my friend who was going to come over for Thanksgiving. Texted him. He never wrote anything back. Here I am all by myself in my home, cooking a turkey for just me and nobody else. And I really wanted to share that dinner with somebody who I could relate with and talk to and be a part of. Since Thanksgiving, that hasn't happened. I mean, I haven't heard from him forever, so I don't bother texting him or whatever. I don't deal with it. So, but kind of goes on to the segue. I know I came on here talking about what was I talking about? Relationships. That's right, and being out of state and being long distance. So, I'm sorry, I go down on rabbit holes, and it seems like I don't come out of them. So I apologize. So anyways, there was this other guy that I met on Grindr. He texted me and he's like, hey, haven't we hung out before? I'm like, nope, we never hung out. I remember texting him a couple of years ago because he wanted to come over to my place and stay with me. But I finally met up with this guy, and what really set me off about him was this. He's got no cell phone. I mean, he's got a cell phone, but he has to use a Wi-Fi to call somebody. He's got no car, no job, which I think by now he has a job. He smokes, and I gotta tell you what, I did something really stupid. So he wanted to come and stay and live with me, and he had a dog with him. He was gonna get a dog on Wednesday, and he wanted to know if he could borrow my Jeep, and I was like, no, it's my Jeep, and I don't want no one driving it but me. Let's just say I'm that type of person that says, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll let you, but be careful. My car, I pay payments on it. So I let him drive the Jeep, which he drove really fine. It was decent driving, but I mean, if for me personally, I'm not that type of person that wants to go run around all over God's country and see somebody and then go over all God's country again and wasting like a quarter of a tank of gas. I mean, I filled up. And the other thing too that I really didn't like about this whole situation was that he wanted me to buy some cigarettes. He wanted me to buy coffee for him. He wanted me to buy a soda for him from Cumbies. I'm like, this guy is just using me. He's spending my money. He's driving my Jeep. And here's the other thing that really kind of set me off too about this guy. He wanted to go visit a friend. And I'm like, okay, we'll go visit a friend. Yeah, sure. And he tells me that her son is very autistic. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, yeah, that's fine. I've dealt with kids and dealt with adolescents that have autism and that can be severe. But this kid, no. This kid had no discipline whatsoever. People say he's got autism, but it's not autism. It's a young kid who's probably like 5 or 6. And he's swearing up a storm. He's saying the F word. He's saying the N word. He's yelling. He's screaming. He's disrespecting his mom. I mean, this kid was just wild. And there was no discipline from this mom. This mom's just really frustrated at this kid because of the things that, he's doing and won't shut up. The other thing, too, that was a real struggle that I found personally is this kid started yelling in the back seat of the Jeep. And he goes, I'm effing hungry. I'm effing hungry. So we stopped at Dollar Tree to get a snack and get a soda. And this woman, the mother of the children, don't have enough money for a soda and snack. So she had to ask her friend that was driving the Jeep, the guy I met online. And he helped pay for the soda and stuff. And I'm like, okay, fine, cool. But anyway, so I didn't really care for that. And I'm not going to be in a relationship where people are going to use me and take advantage of me. That's not what I want. Since then, we haven't been talking, even though I've been having thoughts about him coming back. But I can't do it. You got to have a job, you got to have a car, you got to fend for yourself, and you're not going to stay with me because you want a place to live. If you want a relationship and a connection, it's got to be real, and it has to be genuine. Not useful. Not being used. Not being walked on or stepped on. So, I guess that's my rant. It's been 23 minutes so far in this rant. I haven't done a video like this in a long time, and I'm glad I'm doing a video like this again. I miss doing vlogs and videos like this and just really connecting with people who might have similar issues or might have a comment or two about what's been going on, and just really understand that you're not alone in the process. So, but anyways, it's about 5:45. It's past my bedtime. I got to go to work. I got to be at work by 5 o'clock in the morning. Thank God I'm going back to work because this has been a really long week. It really has. So yeah. So I just want to put that out there. Again, I am interested in a relationship, but I'm not interested I'm not interested in a long distance relationship. And not only that, but if I don't communicate with you, and if you don't respond within a certain time frame of, if I send you a text message and you don't respond within 30 to 45 minutes, I'm going to say, okay, well, whatever. It shouldn't be up to me to send you another text message and say, hey, how are you? I sent you a text, you didn't write back. I'm not going to be that kind of needy person. I'm not needy. I'm just telling people, if, hey, I sent you text messages or a text message 5-10 minutes ago, you never responded. And he doesn't respond, and there goes another 10 minutes and 15 minutes that they don't respond. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. And I'm kind of used to that by now. People not texting me, people not willing to make an effort to come see me. So, all right, I got to stop this before I go any longer because I need to get to bed. I've been in my room all day, this whole room. Since I got up this morning, I've been in this room mostly all day. The reason why for that, and I know I'm going down another rabbit hole, the reason why for that is I've been working on some collages here on my wall. You can see the collages on my Facebook page of Wheels on the Road, and you can see it on my personal webpage as well, my personal Facebook page. I like what I like, and I like what I see. And you'll see what I mean when you see it on Facebook. So, all right, so I got to get out of here. I got to go back to bed. I got to go to bed. Got to go to work. And probably going to watch this video before I post it. And go on from there. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.